What's up, Archers of Chaos? This is your Kid Rose Chaos Gamer. We're going to be talking about the Logan Paul and Dillon Danis fight in this video. My thoughts. I didn't pay for the pay-per-view, so I saw where it was put on YouTube, and the after victory. And I gotta be honest with you, I gotta be real, and this might piss people off, but this was the most trash fight I've ever seen. I don't really watch much of influencer boxing unless I'm invested in it, but I'll be honest, this fight was trash all around. I'm gonna be honest, Logan Paul did good because from what I see, he's actually the one throwing punches and stuff like that. The thing I want to talk about was, and I know, don't get me wrong, again, I'm not a Logan Paul supporter at all, completely. I think he's scummy for all the stuff he's, scummy for. But from what I seen in the fight coverages I saw on the free versions on YouTube, the one with the poor quality, and then seeing other people react to the fight and stuff like that, it seems that the thing is, I know Dillon Danis is not a boxer. He's right about that. Some of his postures in there, it looks more jiu-jitsu-like than it does boxing because he has elbow up and it was weird, and he wasn't even throwing the punch. Which this will go back to everything I've been saying. I will be honest, Dillon Danis is actually a keyboard warrior. And keyboard warriors, when you come up to them and pull up, they're all nice and sweet and, don't want no action. Now, it's proof that Dillon Danis was a keyboard warrior because when he was up there, he was, and it's not until the last minute where it's okay, I got one hit, it's going to get more hits in and stuff like that, but, it was already too late. I already know Logan's going to win that one based off that because the keyboard warrior, they're all about smoke. I'm not saying he's bad jiu-jitsu. I went back to watch Dillon Danis' stuff when he's younger, like clips of his jiu-jitsus and stuff like that. He is good at jiu-jitsu. It's just, I've said it, and I'm going to always state it. It's like his use of alcohol and self-destruction and his stuff was not going to help him, and it didn't. He put more energy into doing the keyboard warrior stuff rather than actually fighting in the ring. Regardless of the fact that, Logan Paul's wife has, a pass, and that's just being the politically correct way to say that. But yes, it don't matter. But he put too much energy in that keyboard warrior stuff rather than actually fighting, and that's what cost Dillon Danis this fight. If he would put all the energy that he was smacking talking in a fight, maybe he could have won. But that's what cost Dillon Danis the match as well. Now, even before the coverages and the press conferences were garbage too, because the fact is, it was already bad enough that, Logan Paul's fiance was suing Dillon Danis, which is, I would say before the fight's kind of foul, but it's also the fact of calling other people and calling the bodyguard calling the bouncer that put Dillon Danis in his place to the stand rather than just, took care of business. So I think that the press conference was kind of, I would say it was kind of like I'd say like a sissy move. I'll be real honest. I would just be the kind of person that would just just stand there and talk shit. I wouldn't be going around trying to bring no bodyguard or anything out there. But I guess if this sells the fight tickets, it sells the fight tickets. So if that's the case, Logan Paul did good. I will be honest, Logan Paul is good when it comes to marketing stuff. Man, look how many bottles of Prime people have bought over the year. He's really good at marketing. I will say that. In fact, it may be a marketing employee he purposely chose to wife up, Miss I'm with every celebrity type of person, but either way, marketing or not, it makes no difference. The point is, the press conference, it was just kind of tasteless for that, you know. And then to bring Chris Hansen on the show was it was kind of out of touch a little bit. Not out of touch, sorry. It was kind of just, it's just like you didn't need to do that. It's the extra stuff that you never need to do. I will say this for anyone who's famous or becoming famous or anyone who plans to become famous one day, it's the extra stuff that kills you. It's the extra stuff that makes it, hard for you to, you know, to be successful. Now I feel like Logan Paul, that's no problem because you have the money to get yourself out of any controversy, and anyone with a whole bunch of cash can get away with anything. Let's just be real. But like, if you're just, if you're a low level celebrity, or even if you're just a regular person who's trying to become a streamer, the extra stuff's doing all the extra stuff is not gonna help you in the end. So that's not gonna help. I mean, even though Logan Paul won the fight, people are gonna still, think of him as the guy who bought the bouncer that, put Dillon Danis in his place, when really you're supposed to be the one that puts that person in his place, which you did, but, that was just kind of a weak move in my opinion. Just in my hindsight, it was just something that was just like kind of hindsight stuff. The other fights, I mean, I don't think I really seen much of the other fights because I was focused solely on the Dillon Danis versus Logan Paul. I said I wasn't going to cover any more of this, but it was just one of those that I kind of grew invested in because I always like to see a troll like Dillon Danis who, keyboard warriors be put in their place. I love seeing keyboard warriors being put in their place because that's exactly how they are in real life. They'll go on computer and act all e-thug and all tough and I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna come at you, I'm gonna do this to you. Man, you pull up on them, I was just kidding, or at least when they get in a fight like that, when they get in the boxing match, because he was just, Dillon Danis was just blocking most of the time. He was just blocking, even trying to get a hit in. Yeah, you're supposed to block. I'm not saying you're not supposed to block. You're supposed to block, but you're supposed to get some hit in. It's called boxing for a reason. You're supposed to box. That's kind of why you got the gloves in the first place. It's not sit there to defend all the time. You have to throw a punch at some point. Again, I'm not a boxer, so I don't know exactly for sure, but my understanding of boxing, my understanding of boxing is that you're supposed to be throwing hits. You're supposed to be throwing, trading blows with just hands. But, apparently Dillon Danis missed the memo, and, and I agree with the crowd. The crowd was all mad, too, which from what I saw on the, free versions, because I ain't paying no pay-per-view for this, from what I seen, the crowd was the crowd was just, they were like me. They were not impressed. They were just not impressed with this stuff. It was just one of those that, I agree with it, and it really is because the Dillon Danis was just blocking. At least Logan Paul was doing some punching. He was at least hitting. And the fact that I have to agree with Logan Paul, that says that the universe is going in reverse. Because I usually, like I said, I'm a guy who doesn't agree with anything Logan Paul does. But the fact that I had to play on his side and be devil's advocate and say he was doing the most, he was at least doing something. Because the crowd was not happy. It really was just Dillon Danis cowering, which, it's just proof, without 100% proof that, Dillon Danis will never be taken seriously ever again. Because doing what he just did, and just blocked until the last minute. He had more courage when he threw the ball, when he hit Logan in the head with the bottle and during the press conference. But when it came to doing the match, he wasn't about that action. It was definitely cowardice and keyboard warrior type of thing. It was, So yeah, that's actually what made this fight trash. But now everything that Dillon Danis did this time, I'm gonna be very honest. I'm gonna keep it 100% real. I will keep it 100% real here. No one's gonna ever take Dillon Danis seriously ever again. He ruined his entire reputation, and not only he looks like a creep that takes random photos of people's fiancés and put up on Twitter. But it's also the fact that he lost the fight and he didn't even put up a good fight, so he's never going to be taken seriously. So I don't know if he's going to be able to train the jiu-jitsu gym. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think the best thing for Dillon Danis is just to disappear from the scene. You talk all that shit, went after a real high-profile, influencer, and lost. If he would have won, it made a different. It would have been a different ball game if he would have won. But Dillon Danis lost the most disgraceful way ever. I get that he wasn't about boxing, but he could be trained in boxing. He could have done something. He didn't, so he lost. Logan Paul won, but this fight altogether was garbage. It wasn't my favorite. So may the crystal be with you. May the crystal bless you.